there's 4 different markets, the A, B, C, D, right? One of my students came up with these initial for me. He says, the A is the affluent neighborhood, which is like Beverly Hills. Ain't gonna work well in there.
Yeah, like Arcadia, those types, yeah.
B is the blue collar neighborhood. C is the contractor neighborhood, and then D the drug infested neighborhood. Get the out.
Welcome back to another episode of Careful Boys. You have Thach Nguyen with us today.
Hey.
Just before we cut out on the last episode, Joe had a really important question to ask, and what was that again?
So a lot of people will say to real estate moguls, like to Thach, be like, hey, you know, your method only worked in your era because the homes were like 50K, 100K, and there was so much more, the barrier of entry was more accessible. What I see people doing now is like, you make money in LA, New York, or whatever, and then you go to Tennessee, you go to Oklahoma, you go to these other states to get started. But then what about the people that grew up there where the houses, like, they skyrocketed, so their barrier of entry is hard. Same with kids in LA. Like, for us, like, we got the money to do it, but it's like, man, we got to put down 200K, and we're like, where do we even come up with that? Even 5% of $1 million is a lot. So it's like, well, what do you say to them, and like, how can they get started?
That's a good question, and this is the kind of stuff that people ask every day. What we gotta know. So one of the things people don't realize is the expensive area like Seattle, LA, right? We have the biggest issue with, which is housing, inventory, affordable housing, most important. So those cities, they are constantly trying to figure out how to create more housing. So they constantly, proactively doing certain code in the city so they can actually help create more housing. Okay? The biggest game changer code that just happened recently, this is how everybody can take advantage of this right now in California, is the ADU game. It's freaking stupid.
And for those who don't know what ADU is,
it's auxiliary dwelling unit, right? It's a second house in the backyard.
So it's like if you have a home, now you could turn your shed or garage or into
a second house, right?
Can you sell that ADU separately?
And this is where it's even gonna get even better for you guys. In Seattle, 3 years ago, this is how it worked. You can build a ADU in the backyard, max 1,000 square feet. But you have to live in the front house to rent this house in the back out.
Oh, you have to be, your primary residence has to be
You live there.
Okay.
And there's like a specific ratio too, right? Like
Nope.
to
No, not
It
at
just
all.
has to be 1,000 square feet under?
That's it.
Has
Yeah,
to be under that?
1,000 is max. So everybody was like, "Whoa, this is how we're gonna create more housing."
Does that count for like vertical?
Yes.
So like
to 500, 500.
Okay.
Right? Then what happened was a year later they said, you don't have to actually live in the front to rent the back out now.
Oh.
So now it help people.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go ahead and rent this and rent that, and I'll go buy me that house. And then the third year, which is in the last year plus, they came up with a new code. Now remember, this is still single family zoning, you guys. Not multifamily, single family zoning. They said now you can have 2 separate tax parcel number. And that's address. Like you gotta have separate address, but you still have only one parcel number. That makes sense? Now you can have 2 separate address and 2 separate parcel number. Now you can sell it off. So the state of California just got approved with this new code called 1033, which allow the whole entire state of California, when you put an ADU, you can sell it separately now.
Wow.
This is where the game changers that come in for people in California.
Yeah.
Now you ain't gonna get this in Tennessee.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get this in the rural area. Why? They got a lot of land.
Yeah.
They only doing this in dense area. And state of California has got it. Now, LA, depending on what jurisdiction you're in, they gotta work through it faster so they can get it going. So to answer your question, Joe, there's the play now. If I was down here, I'll give you a real life example right now. I was waiting for my friend Eric to text. He hasn't texted back yet, but I know the number because he said it last night. He just bought a fixer in Long Beach for like, I want to say 580, 590, less than 600,000.
Wow.
It's a fixer. So here's the game. The reason why everybody quote LA is expensive because people are quoting turnkey houses in what I call upper end neighborhood, where it's $1 million plus. You can find turnkey houses in Long Beach that's worth $1 million. That's already ready to go. But what I tell my students to do, if you can find a property that needs some work, let's use Long Beach as an example. My friend Eric just bought this for like 600 grand. It's gonna cost him 80 grand to do this, okay? There is bank out there right now that will do 5% down minimum on a rehab loan and then convert it into a 30-year loan. Back then they called them FHA rehab loan. Now they have conventional rehab loan.
Oh.
So what they say is, let's call it 600 plus 80, it's called 680. All you gotta do is put 5% down and the bank will lend you the money to buy it, rehab it, and when it's done, it get turned into a 30-year fix.
So the money that you use to fix the house is included in the
in the loan.
Buy.
So you don't have to come up with the loan money.
What the heck?
Do you just show them like a contractor's like bid, and then you show them like, oh, okay.
Yep. And so what happened is this. But then I want them to find a house with the garage in the back. So after they get the house done,
With the intention for ADU.
yes. So this is what Eric's doing. He bought this house. He's rehabbing this house. When it's done, because it's all remodeled now, it's worth like $850 in Long Beach, turnkey. Makes sense, right? So, but he's only in it for $680. He can rent that out. He's got a negative cash flow, probably like $600-700, which is okay. But the game changes in the back. He's gonna put 2 ADU in the backyard.
280.
2 ADU.
Because the lot's big enough.
That's right. It's gonna cost him $200,000 to $240,000 to build it, but he can rent each ADU for $2 grand.
Oh, wow.
So you're getting $4 grand for $240 grand worth of investment. So how the rule of thumb work in real estate, guys, is this: if you buy a property for $300,000, 1% rule of thumb is you get $3,000 off for rent. You ain't getting that in California.
Yeah.
Usually it's $800,000, you get $3 grand, right? But the reason why ADU is a new cash flow game is it costs, let's say it costs 250 grand for building these 2 ADU out, which is only about 500 square feet each. But you can rent it for 2,000 each. So if it costs you 250,000, 1% will be 2,500, right? He's getting $4 grand.
Yeah.
So now that negative on the front will be compensated by the back. So what happened when you get this house all done, you can get like a HELOC on it, or you can refi, get some money out to build the back out later. And this is how you go around expensive area. And this is what all my students. So for you guys, this Saturday, which is tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Long Beach, we are having my meetup with all my students, like 200 of them. They're all meeting at this site. And we're gonna show them this property, I'm telling you right now, so they can actually see it. So that's how you do it. That's how I do it in Seattle. Because Seattle, LA, same thing. So you do only really need 5% on a. So you don't go buy a $1 million house, it won't make any sense. You want to buy the right property in the right area where you can actually get in.
I see.
And once you get one going, now you want to hear what's crazy? When Long Beach, which is one of the fastest proactive area right now, trying to get that 1033 to get done. Imagine later on, house will have its own tax parcel number, the ADU have its own tax, the other ADU have its own tax. He can sell each one of these separately.
Wow.
But even if you don't sell it, each one of them have their own parcel number, it will have a whole different value because it has a value of individual property versus a value of a triplex. That's the game changer. And that's how you become wealthy overnight in California. That's the new game plan.
Is this what everybody's doing?
Not everybody, because not everybody know the game.
They're prepping.
People understand that it's doing this,
Yeah.
but majority of the people don't understand this. So here's the thing.
What's up, guys? If you do not know, we have a Patreon. I want you to click in our description and go over there and check out all the beautiful stuff we have for you. It's super duper access for only our super duper exclusive lovers like yourselves. You're gonna be getting one never been released director's cut every week. But not only that, you get another fresh, too hot for YouTube video.
We say some crazy shit on there.
2 videos a week. But not only that, you get to join our Discord and come chat with us, direct access. We're in there, the whole Careful Boys in there, jumping in, dogpiling on people, laughing, playing, joking, whatever, and you can come talk to us directly.
So if you like what we do and what we've been doing for the past 10 years, please support our Patreon and click the link below to get all the details.
There's so many different tiers, you can see it when you click that.
If you understand this, you do it now. Because what's gonna happen is this. 10 years from now, there's gonna be less property with backyard. Because people like understand it's already on it.
Right.
Let's say 5 years down the road, it's become almost normal. I go to Bart and I say, hey man, you wanna sell your property? And the property should be worth $1 million. Bart say, listen, I want 2 million. 2 million? Yeah, I know what you're gonna do in my backyard. You're gonna put ADUs in the backyard. That thing's gonna be worth a lot of money. So give me 2 million, you can have it. Nah, but someone else will buy it. And that's how price is gonna spike. Because they all know what they can do in the backyard.
attention.
And that's how it's gonna get even more expensive. So if you don't do it now when most consumer don't understand, see? That's the end. That's why I'm trying to get all my California students buy now, because the price will hop crazy 5 years from now when everybody understand this. The separate tax number is going to be here in about a year and a half. It's already been approved by the state. They just got to work it through jurisdiction.
And some cities react faster than others.
You got it.
Yeah.
Long Beach is one of the fastest one right now.
That's nice.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Seattle done it in 3 years. So we're ahead of the game right now. So every time I build a house, I put a house and an ADU in the backyard. I get 2 separate parts number. I have 2 houses valued at individual houses, and it spiked the value twice as fast. So think about this, yo. You buy 1 house, and by the time you're done, you have 3 houses. There, that's game changer, and the cash flow is in California now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See, that's how you do it, you guys.
If they want to learn more about this stuff, is there a website you could plug so they can go and...
Just follow me on Instagram. They can just get on the link is on my Instagram. Yeah.
You said, how many students do you have now?
Over 3,000 students all across America.
Damn.
Wow.
Crazy, right? And we got youngster
Yeah.
from Vana and Jason. They're here. 22, 23 doing it right now.
Yeah.
All the way to people right now. I got people that make $5 million a year. This guy right now, he's from California, he makes $5 million a year. And he like hooked me up. The one in San Diego, this guy, he just inherited. His dad passed away. Him and his brother, you know, he's an older gentleman. He was making good money, making $300,000-$400,000 anyway. But his dad passed away, inherited all this money and stuff. He got a buku much money. He just bought his first one in San Diego. He bought a house and put 2 ADU in the backyard. Wow. He just bought it.
Damn.
Just bought it, and he's working on it right now.
So it sounds like your method is identify like a fixer-upper that people don't want to really touch, and then
Find the one with the garage, with the backyard, so you can add more units.
create ADU.
right.
Same method in Seattle, everywhere. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So try to get max cash flow value per area.
per property.
I see.
But here's the thing: a lot of people don't realize there's 4 different markets: the A, B, C, D. Right? One of my students came up with this initial for me. He says the A is the affluent neighborhood, which is like Beverly Hills. Ain't gonna work well in there.
Yeah, like Arcadia, those types, yeah.
B is the blue collar neighborhood. C is the contractor neighborhood, and then D the drug infested neighborhood. Get the fuck out.
I like that acronym.
But where the money is at, it's in the B's and the C's, or the D transition to the C's, so you can get in because the line is moving,
Yeah.
right?
What's the D that you think is going to be a C pretty soon?
I think
Like gentrifying area?
yeah, gentrifying, right? Where would you guys say D neighborhood is? That's gentrifying.
Here?
It was probably like Echo Park.
Yeah, but now it's expensive. I would say now it's A.
Yeah, that's right. Hey. The scary thing about LA though is it's gentrifying, but the crackheads don't leave. So now
So it's an AD. It's AD.
you have nice homes, yeah, and then you still got people shitting in the front.
That's right. That's right. So like Long Beach, you know what I mean? Right? Long Beach back then with the D.
Yeah.
Right now, Long Beach is like freaking like C's and B's.
Wow.
Yeah,
See?
it's nice.
So,
yeah.
so you can't go into a super A neighborhood because it won't work because you buying a house for $2 million. And how often do you ever see a fixture in an A neighborhood? See?
True.
Right? So I like to buy a home in the C's and the B
Yeah.
because the line moves. Eventually, those C become B's later, and those B become A's later.
Yeah.
So you got to get in. So you want to find fixer in the C's and the B's, you transform them, make them look nice, add more unit to it. Cause you buy one and you're adding multiple unit to it. See, that's, and what's good for you guys is there's other things, that people don't realize. Yeah, you can go to the Midwest and buy a house for 70, but the rent's only $800. But I'm gonna give you a scenario. Watch this. I'm gonna do the numbers so they can see. Oh, it's even better. Look, how much did you pay for that property in Long Beach? $472,000.
$472?
And it cost him $80,000 to rehab it.
Wow.
And it's worth like $850, he says. Wow. Okay?
And he's putting 2 ADUs in that one?
2 ADU in the back. This is what we're gonna go see.
How did he get a house that's like half off?
But remember, it's not half off. It's a fixer.
Oh, so it was like a former meth lab. It's all broken out.
It's vacant and then you work. So you're not getting half off.
Previous resident's still there.
The value of a nice house is worth $800. Get it? Yeah. But you buy it, it's like buy.
But it's only gonna cost him $80K to get it up to.
Yeah, because it don't cost much. You know what I mean? Usually it costs like usually $100,000 to put the house back together. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You just don't want to do the work or spend the time.
Yeah. So you just have to hire a good contractor.
Or become a contractor.
See? But look at this, okay? I'm gonna show you this. One of my students said to me, Thach, I bought this house in New Jersey for $380,000 5 years ago. It just got appraised for $800,000, and this how much equity he just created in 5 years. I mean,
5 years?
So listen, in Seattle.
That's how much I spend in a year.
God damn, you a baller. But California and Seattle, it doubles historically every 7 years. So, but this one doubled in 5 years. Wow. Okay, now watch. So he made $420,000 in 5 years. So what? I asked him, how much do you make a year? He said $120,000. I said, how much did you save? He said 15.
Yeah.
So I said, let's say $20,000.
Yeah.
$20,000 times 5 is $100,000. It would take him 5, right? $100,000. Okay, so 5 years he'll make $100,000, but from working. But in 5 years he made $420,000. Wow. So what happened when you go to an area that has no appreciation, like the Midwest? Yeah, you could buy a house for $80,000 and rent it for $700. You make better cash flow. But area like us, California, 20 years down the road, we have like 20 million. Those guys still trying to get their $80,000.
Because the equity and then rises quicker in a bigger city. I see.
The appreciation is better. So appreciation outperforms cash flow down in the long run.
Yeah.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, if you play the long
Compound appreciation outperforms sprinters.
So are you doing that?
Cash flow is sprinter.
With most of your properties that you have out here, are you now putting ADUs?
I don't buy out here. I just teach all my students out here. I just do all in Seattle.
Oh.
Because Seattle's the same market.
Is there a reason why you stay in Seattle? Because you know how some people, they say once you start getting to like building wealth, you want to diversify stuff. Is there a reason why you're like, I just want to stay in this one market? And are you ever scared if, let's say, the Seattle market turns, then everything gets affected at once?
No. Seattle is like California. We got a lot of bullshit politics. You know what I mean? But they need housing.
Oh, I see.
But as long as the demand for housing is always there, everybody's always going to need it.
I see.
And
So it's just supply demand.
It's all supply demand. They got jobs, right? They got big company up there, and people pay good money. We our ADU, we get $4,000, bro.
$4,000
for a 1,000 square foot unit, and it cost me $350,000 to build it. Wow. It cost most of my students $350, right? But it's worth $700 because it has its own tax ID number, so it's double the moment you get done with it. But remember, 1% rule is $350 will be $3,500. We get $4,000. We even cash flowing on those.
Wow.
So in California, it's even better because you guys only need a 500 square foot garage. It can be done within like $120,000. Wow. But you can rent it for like $2,000, $2,200. Yeah. See?
I also live in Hawaii, and they just approved a third ADU now. So because there's even a worse housing shortage out there.
See?
So yeah.
I was out there and I was talking with Brandon Turner, another guy that does,
he was from Bigger Pockets.
Yeah, Bigger Pocket. Yeah. And him and I was talking, and how you want to cash flow in Hawaii is add ADU to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? ADU is the new cash flow game. That's how you overcome expensive market.
They're just like regular houses now, though.
Oh,
that's crazy because now it has its own.
Look, in California, ADU is normal.
Yeah.
Everybody got an ADU in the backyard. Yeah. But 10 years from now, you're gonna see a less and less backyard. So you gotta get in it.
I've seen listings in like Highland Park where I think they've already done it, and it'll be like a 900 square foot.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call
Yeah,
it.
900. Yeah.
And it's listed for $1 million.
Yeah. See.
And it's 900 square
Yeah.
foot.
Do you teach your students if they're like if they just don't have any active income and then they just want to understand how to
Yes.
even get started with no money?
Because I teach them how to identify where the ABC neighborhood is. I teach them how to go find those ugly house with the garage, and then they can't buy it. At least find out if the owner want to sell. They want to sell. Find out how much they want. Oh, you want 472? Great. When do you want to sell it? I want to sell it right now. Awesome. Then I teach them how to go and write it up and get it under contract. Wow. And then for 472, and then they go to you. You're gonna go, hey man, I know you want to buy something. Hey, give me 25 grand for this contract. Like just like you did with your
So
commercial
the finders,
thing.
yeah.
Finder's fee.
Yeah, that's like wholesaling.
You got it. Just like what you did.
Yep.
The guy who find the
That's it.
opportunity make money.
No money down.
That's it.
Found a buyer
That's why you hear people on the info commercial always say no money without investing. That's what they're talking about.
because they're trying to find.
Yeah, they not investing. They wholesaling.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
so but in the info commercial, they're like, oh, you can invest in real estate with no money, no credit, everything. No, that's not true, right?
Yeah, it still takes work.
What do you think about like that method versus like Airbnb?
Airbnb. Now think about this. Imagine you still go buy this at ADU instead of renting for $2,000 for long term per unit. Airbnb it. Same much money you're making then, double. So instead of $4,000 for two, it's $8,000 for two.
So the game is to change one address into 3 or more.
And then you can do a long term, or you can do a short term. You can do a mid term rental, right? Long term will give you, still good money, $4,000 for two. Mid term give you a little more. Short term give you a lot more, and it's up to you. But Airbnb is a lot of state now is now canceling Airbnb
the
now.
rules change a lot for it too, yeah.
I think Airbnb is going to get more regulated.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as long as you cash flow long term, and you do Airbnb and it get canceled, you still will make money on long term.
That's true.
See, you're still winning. The key is to own the real estate. So you let the compound appreciate.
I wish I knew this 5 years.
God damn it, man! Why didn't you get me on the show earlier?
Too busy.
Bart, what are you doing, bro?
I was trying to bring you on.
Bart's fault.